Big Cat. Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July, guys. Calling in on vacation, but that's what I do for you guys. Anything. I just want to talk to you guys.
Where are you at?
I'm in Michigan, New Buffalo.
Oh, nice.
Beautiful.
You going?
Yeah, I was in Cincinnati last week.
What'd you think?
I was there for 3 hours, just enough time.
Perfect amount of time?
No, I like Cincinnati, but it was a in and out Joe Burrow interview.
Okay.
So.
How was he, by the way?
Joe Cool?
By the way, Waddle, he talked to us in the rain before he talked to Joe Burrow. Big Cat
Yeah.
did.
That's a solid move by
Yeah.
Big Cat.
I had to go outside in the rain because I was in a warehouse, and Sylvie can't take it with his precious little ears.
He
echo.
was echoey.
So,
He was too echoey.
So you
was
sent him
echoey,
outside?
Yeah, so we need a good phone.
A lot of warehouses in Cincinnati as well.
Yeah, a lot of warehouses.
Yeah.
So messed up that Sylvie has gotten me to a point where, like, I actually feel bad when there's a slight echo or a slight issue with audio. He's got me feeling bad and, like, apologizing to him. It's crazy.
It's like a form of mind control, I think.
I know. He's got me wrapped around his finger.
How do you feel when someone joins you from like an echoey place on
No,
Part of My Take?
It's the worst.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
See?
How was Joe cool to
Sylvie.
deal with?
Sylvie,
Yeah.
I know we got other things to talk about. Do we want to do the hard topic right now?
You want to rip the Band-Aid off? Because they stink.
What do you think I'm going to say?
Sell.
What?
Sell.
No.
I thought he was
That's
gonna have a
not the hard topic.
I thought he was going to have a
my friend.
conversation about you going on vacation.
No, he's Mr. Vacation now.
Waddle, can you answer me a question real quick?
Sure.
What team does Sylvie root for in college hoops?
Oh, Duke,
Oh,
yeah.
boy. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I had
Oh.
no idea that was going on.
I asked him,
Interesting.
and I asked you when we discussed this. I brought this up because I saw this when I was on vacation. I was like, what was going on there? I said, when you were down there, did you see anything that looked a little odd in any way, shape, or form?
I bet you he did. This is what happens, Sylvie. I tried to warn you. Don't join the Brotherhood. Once you get in the Brotherhood, you might one day it's all we win the ACC. Or they didn't even win the ACC this year. One day they go to the Brotherhood. You're going to the second weekend of the tournament. The next day you're having to apologize for potentially grooming. What's going on here, Sylvie?
He's a victim in this. Like, it was not his
and
fault.
What part did Duke play in this?
I don't think they knew.
Yeah, I think they knew.
Is she being pursued by the law in any way, shape, or
Yeah,
form?
what's going on? What have you dug up here?
I listen. I'm flabbergasted by the whole story, but the biggest, hey, what's going on here? Thing that's in my brain right now is how did Duke know about this for 2 years and no one else did? Isn't that interesting?
I don't.
Huh.
I don't think they knew. I don't.
Oh, they knew.
Are you running? This is Blue Devil cover.
Well,
Waddle, can you believe this guy? These college programs, the head coach is in charge of everything. They know every little detail about their players, and then all of a sudden they don't know this?
all right. Well, let's play this out. So, if you were the coach of Duke and you knew about this, what would you do? What
I'd
do
say
you?
stop it. Stop it right now.
And what
To
if?
the woman.
Yeah.
Yeah? And I'd maybe take a whistle out, tee her up, get out of here.
For what reason? I mean, what would be the rationale?
Grooming, potentially,
Okay.
allegedly. I
All
don't
right.
know.
Is she facing any are there charges that are attached to grooming?
I don't think so, but the story is so weird. If
It
it's
is.
true that she was 26 going to his high school prom, I mean, that's crazy.
Can I ask a question? Like this, I'm going on vacation tomorrow as well, but so I don't want to go off on a bad note. But if it was,
Don't make this a permanent vacation.
that's my point. Yeah. It seems like we're having this conversation with a bit of like smile on our face.
No, I'm not. No.
Yeah, you are. I heard you
No.
giggle. I heard
No,
you
I'm
giggle.
No, I'm not. No, that's
It-
uncomfortable because of being around a dookie like Sylvie makes me uncomfortable.
Okay, so let's again. You enunciate the what you just said. He was in high school.
Yeah.
Right? How old
And
was
I think
he?
she was I think he was 17. She was 26. Not good.
At the time
Not
of the
good.
prom, like this supposedly started before, allegedly, according to these tweets that were out there, allegedly from fans.
Allegedly.
But allegedly,
Okay,
none
allegedly.
of this is.
Let me ask this
is-
question hypothetical.
Yeah.
Allegedly. If it was the other way around and it was a 17-year-old girl at prom,
yeah.
and it was a
Real bad.
25 or 26-year-old man,
He'd be behind
how
bars.
what would we
He'd
be saying?
behind bars right now.
Duke would probably keep that under wraps too.
Oh, wow. Would you like to, as the
I just don't know. Like,
as the show representative from
wa-
Duke
she-
University, would you like to respond to
how
that?
am I the representative, first of all?
This is why I told you not to get in bed with these
I
guys.
wanted to go to Cameron. I'm friends with John. He's
I
a great.
understand, but this is Duke is they're bad mamma jammas there.
I don't understand that if you're looking.
Boy, was that a grand generalization right there?
Yeah,
Yes,
it was,
very
and
much
I
so.
stand by it. I stand by it.
If you're looking to hide this, why are you going to prom?
I don't think
listen,
he was looking to hide it. Obviously.
Yeah.
She wasn't looking to hide this either.
How
I
can
don't
you
know.
hide it at prom?
That's what I'm saying.
The whole story is crazy.
It's weird.
The whole thing is weird.
But I will say this, as it is an NBA conversation, if he can ball, and I mean basketball
Yeah.
play, you're still drafting him, and his stock shouldn't drop.
But it did, I think. I think that's why it became a conversation. Is everyone's like, "Wow, this guy didn't get drafted in the first round. That's bizarre."
And here I thought we were just going to have a simple Cubs sell conversation.
No.
Not on the
No,
Tuesday.
you
Not on
need
the
to-
Tuesday before vacation for 4th of July
No.
weekend.
No, listen. Anytime Duke's in the news, good or bad.
Hold
mostly
on, Big
bad,
Cat. I think your phone
I'll
is
be
echoing
there.
right now. I don't know if we
Yeah.
can continue this
We're going to have to
conversation.
shut this thing down. It should have happened
You
5
got-
minutes ago.
You got to be looking over your shoulder for the rest of your life now that I got you in my crosshairs with Duke. That was. I told you. I warned you. I warned
Well,
you.
no, I mean, if this conversation doesn't do it, we're going back to see Cooper Flag play. Anything
No.
I need to know about that?
No, you're just gonna up the ante here. I'm gonna get my best guys on it. We're gonna figure some things out.
So you were just oblivious to this whole situation when you were down there watching Duke basketball.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I knew nothing.
What happened to the reporter in you? Guys, I have a story. I know I was down there for a family visit and the kids loved it, but I have a story for you.
Yeah, would have been nice.
You think
Could've
the
won a
antenna
Pulitzer.
should have been up for?
No, I don't. I know.
Start snooping around. All right, that was a tough topic. You knew I had to say that.
I actually, I wasn't even thinking about that. I wrote a
That's
list out
crazy.
too. Like, here's my list. You want to see my Big Cat list or hear it? Here's what I have
How is
written.
Duke not on there?
Yeah,
That's
it is.
all
It's
I've
at
been
top of the
reading.
list.
You can tell I've got vacation on my mind. Here's my Big Cat list.
Okay.
Cubs sell ? Council Jed. Biggest baseball player fall from grace. Bulls plan Zach LaVine. What is Zach thinking? Redo on Chicago playoff question. Schriffen growling on the air. NFL losing the NFL ticket lawsuit. Hard Knocks starting tonight. 4th of July
Well,
plans.
I was going to say, no Joey Chestnut at Coney Island.
I
for the
know.
exhibition. Well, he's doing an exhibition though.
Not at Coney Island,
Right.
is it?
Not at Coney Island.
Right.
It's going to be brutal. All right, so let's get into some of these because I do think you guys owe me an apology for our conversation. What was it 2 weeks ago when I said the Cubs are not making the playoffs, and you guys were like, "But they're only 2 games out. This team stinks."
I think Waddle was on the
Instinct.
Cubs bandwagon. I picked the Bears. You picked the Bulls.
No.
Yeah,
The Bears were eliminated from the conversation, weren't they? Was
No.
it between
Yeah.
the Cubs,
No.
the Bulls, and the
Blackhawks.
the Blackhawks?
No. I thought our question was, which team are you betting on? Betting on a large amount of money
Your
to
house.
make the playoffs. Yeah, your house
Okay.
to make the playoffs. It's the
You're right,
Bears,
you're right.
the Bulls,
Yeah.
or the Cubs. You said
I said the
Cubs
Cubs.
because they're only a couple games out of the wild card.
That is true.
Big Cap took the Bulls because they're the most teams, and I said the Bears because they have the best players. Who?
Yeah, so Waddle's got to say sorry to us because
I didn't say sorry to you. It was my money I lost. What am I saying sorry to you? I lost my house.
I think you're going to soon have to apologize to me too.
Well,
I don't know.
Why are we
my
apologizing to each other? We didn't bet your house. I bet my house.
And I expect an apology off the air after you brought up that whole Duke thing.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Put you on the hot seat right before break.
Right before.
Can I say this? And this is crazy. I kind of like what the Bulls and the Blackhawks are doing in free agency, and it's a little shocking to come to that realization.
The Bulls haven't done anything.
Hold on. Hear me out. The Blackhawks, I like what they did because they signed a lot of guys to one-year deals, to some old guys who've won big-time Stanley Cups, who've been in these wars, who can maybe bring along the young core, and they're not locking themselves up for future years, right? Like, this was smart. And I got to take – obviously everyone wanted Patrick Kane back. I would have loved to see Patrick Kane back. I think it's actually probably a good thing Patrick Kane's not back. It's Bedard's team. You don't have to deal with all that. You brought in a bunch of guys that are not like, household names that are going to help bring this team along and teach them how to compete and maybe sneak into the playoffs while not giving up the future, and you'd be able to reset again next year.
Kind of like a CP3 in San Antonio situation with Wemby. Kind of a sports grooming. Sports grooming, is that a right way?
Wow, jeez.
You're bringing guys along.
I like that for Wemby. And then the Bulls, now, the Bulls don't get as much credit because they put themselves in such a horrible situation. But what I would have been upset with the Bulls is if they had re-signed DeMar DeRozan and not tried to trade Zach LaVine. It feels like, as much as I love DeMar DeRozan, I love him. If you bring back DeMar DeRozan, you're basically signing up for another 40-win season and nothing. Yeah. It looks like the moves they've made, you're not going to re-sign DeMar DeRozan. You're going to try to trade Zach LaVine. You're going to put a bunch of shooters around Josh Giddey and maybe have a fun product that's not going to win a lot of games, and then you get in the lottery. These are the good things. Now, they could still screw this up because it's Jerry Reinsdorf, and he might be like, hey, wait a second, I want to try to win 41 games. But as of right now, I like what they've done.
Yeah, they could have sold higher.
Yeah,
but
I like their decision to rebuild, but I don't trust them. Of course.
No, they screwed up. Like, not trading Caruso, not trading Drummond at the deadline is going to be something that will cost us in the future. They've made tons of mistakes, but at least it seems like someone in that room is starting to realize that they have no path, and the only true path is to start putting out a team that can't win and get some lottery picks for it.
Yeah, I understand what Waddle said, kind of the same thing yesterday, that yes, at least they're not doing the continuity thing for yet another year when we all know that
I'm
it's
torn
wrong.
Because I think this should have happened a while ago, like Big Cat just described, but I think the move here is to go young and rebuild. Am I confident that they will do it successfully the way that they have performed previously? No, I don't have a lot of confidence. But it's the right move.
But they're at least realizing that the mistakes that have been made can't continue to be made, because there is an alternate reality here where they re-signed DeMar DeRozan and they're like, oh, Zach will be healthy and we're going to see if we can get into the play-in game again and just do this whole thing again. It feels like a little minor shift that has at least said, hey, we're not competing with this roster, which everyone in the world knew for the last 2 years, except the Bulls front office, but at least they get a little credit for waking up to that fact now.
Give me a spin zone for Zach LaVine. If you're Zach LaVine and you're sitting in your home in L.A. or wherever he sits these days, what are you saying to yourself after demanding a trade last year or asking for a trade, whatever way you want to phrase it, like in the late fall, and now no one wants him and no one will trade for him? What are you telling yourself?
I mean, you're telling yourself, what is it, $240 million? What was it? What's his whole deal?
Yeah, something like that. 235.
Yeah, you're looking at your bank account every time you feel bad for yourself. That's the part of the NBA that stinks. Is a lot of times these guys will sign a contract knowing they don't really want to be somewhere, but they're like, I'm going to sign it because this team can offer me the most, and I'll figure it out later. And we're at the figure it out later part. And Zach got his money, which I'm not going to begrudge him. Everyone, if you get paid, You're not going to give that money back. But yeah, I think he's doing just fine, even though he doesn't really have a spot right now in the NBA. But he's got $240 million, and that there's worse things in life.
Like I understand that in the league where guys taunt other NBA stars and say you don't have a ring. Zach LaVine, I believe, has one playoff win. Mm-hmm. Even though he's got money, he's got one playoff win. And now he's on it. He's in a league. He's not even 30, and not one team wants him.
It's better to have one playoff win and $40 million a year versus one playoff win and $300,000.
Sure, I get it,
That's
but
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I think the only thing you can hope for now is that I don't think he's going to get traded this summer because it feels like no one wants him, and the Bulls would have to send a pick, and I hope they don't do that.
No.
And although we do have someone else's pick, I think that would be the pick we would send. Either way.
I want to double down on my bet that I lost my house on, okay? So let's make a bet.
Your second house?
Second house. I don't have one second house. But if we did, I still bet you the Bulls trade Zach LaVine. I don't think, and regardless of what they get for him, at some point they will trade Zach LaVine.
Before the season starts?
Yes. I'm
not
say
have to
yes.
attach a pick?
No. Well, however it happens, he won't be on their team when the season starts.
I don't know, because I think the only way for both sides to get what they want is Zach LaVine has to show up and start playing again and show that he's not washed up, and which I don't think he is. And then hopefully someone says, oh, if Zach LaVine plays in October and November and December, and he's putting up 20-plus points a game, there's going to be a team that says, oh, he's the final. Teams will delude themselves into thinking they're a Zach LaVine away.
Right.
So I think that's
injury.
probably – and Zach LaVine is like, if he has any personal pride, he wants to be in a good situation, and the only way you're going to get that is if he goes and starts playing again and showing that he's not injured.
So you're going to –
I think he's going to play, yeah.
You're going to play him when he's going to take the ball out of the hands of some of your younger guys that you are trying to develop solely to try to reinforce his value to other teams who have seen him play for 7 years in the NBA to try to convince them that now's the time to trade for Zach.
Well, you got to show that he's healthy.
Yeah,
that's
you got
part
to show
of
he's
it.
healthy.
Yes. I mean, he would obviously have to pass what did he have done? He had a foot issue?
Surgery, yeah.
Knee, foot, everything. I don't know.
But the decision was, as soon as there was conversation that, hey, they may be trading him to the Pistons real quickly, it was like, hey, time to get my foot fixed.
Well, and a lot of people were probably turned off by that.
Yeah, for sure.
How does the owner feel about that contract right now?
I don't think.
Not good.
No. I don't think the owner likes to pay for anybody, even when they are going good.
So even if you attach a pick to it and you get rid of him, at the very least, you get rid of his stuff.
I may do what Meller and Hoodie have done. If
adopt a team?
Yes. If the Bulls attach a pick to Zach LaVine.
You're a Pacers fan?
I think I'm gonna pick a secondary NBA team to
probably
root for.
the Knicks. You pick the Knicks.
I'll still talk Bulls because of the show, but
Could you be a Knicks fan even though
No,
you
you
go
can't
back
do-
Bulls
no,
Knicks?
no.
Look, I
No, you
like
can't do the
Tibbs. I
Knicks.
like Jalen Brunson.
No,
Look,
no,
and that will be to spite the Bulls. Only to spite the
No.
Bulls.
The only team you can do rationally, and I'll allow it, is you could just be like Alex Caruso superfan, which I consider myself one, and just be like Thunder. Yeah, because the Thunder,
I guess so.
There's no history there. There's nothing.
Would be cheering
they're
for
young. They're in the West. That's the only one.
Would taking on the Knicks as your favorite team be akin to becoming a Packer fan?
It would be like being a trader. It's not quite being
Not
a
as
Packer
bad,
fan, but it's
but
it's being
somewhat
a
bad.
trader. Yeah,
Okay.
No, it can't. It's not a Packer fan because the Bulls own the Knicks, so it's not.
That's true too.
You know,
and
right.
there are no.
It's different in that respect.
And rivalries in the NBA are just based on players instead of the team.
Yeah, it's like decades is rivalries. They don't really pass much further than that.
All right. So did you hear the Schriffen call?
No, I didn't. But I love Schriffen.
All right, good.
Let me hear
good.
it.
Okay. I'm not going to phrase what I think you're going to think, so I'll let you. This is Schriffen over the weekend with Luis Robert hitting a home run. Take a listen.
Luis Robert Jr. back at the wall.
La Pantera on the prowl. He ties the game here in the 6th inning. I love it.
At this point, how I know I don't have to listen to him every day. I'm not a White Sox fan, but the White Sox are so bad.
Yes.
The guy at least is just weird.
Yes.
Like, he gives you something.
Big Cat, my statement was, I actually loved it. In fact, I hope he attaches an animal sound to every member of the White Sox team. So if somebody, Tommy Pham, hits a home run, he's got to do a lion roar. Or you attach a player to an animal, and every time that player goes yard, he has to make the animal sound. Now we're talking fun at the ballpark.
I like it.
I tune into White Sox baseball more readily if I knew John Schriffen was going to make animal sounds throughout the course of the game. Now, they got to hit home runs, but...
Yeah, he's a weirdo. I got one last thing for you. He's a weirdo. Guy's a weird bird. Silvy.
Yeah. Oh, no. Now what?
Can we? No. Listen, I'm done with the other stuff. We've already hashed.
We've already shamed you.
We've already shamed you. Because when you next year when you're rooting for Cooper Flag and you're like, this team's the most loaded team, you can't take all the good and none of the bad. Okay, that's just, I'll leave it at that.
He went right back there. He said he wasn't going back.
Right,
and he went back
yeah.
there.
I wasn't going back there. Just credit to me for not going back there. Do you think that the 2023 Chicago Cubs winning 10 of 11 was it right before the All-Star break is going to be one of those things that we look back and like that was one of the most detrimental things that could have happened to this team?
Yes. I was one of those guys. I forget where you were at that point.
I was with you.
Yeah, we were both like, they're not good. And then we just basically had to fold up our tent and go with it, and just kind of enjoy the ride. Hey, Silvy, I enjoy the ride. And then like we enjoyed the ride, and now what has it gotten us?
Nothing.
We have a fatally flawed team that wasn't ready to win then, and they're proving it out now. And they
a bumpy
probably
ride, and you developed hemorrhoids. That's what happened.
If Jed Hoyer got in front of, he's obviously had better days, but if Jed Hoyer got in front of the media tomorrow, and he said every single guy on this roster is up for grabs, would you be upset? I wouldn't. There's guys I love. There's guys that I think should be Cubs for good years going down the line, like young guys that I think are part of
like who?
A bigger thing. But like who?
Yeah.
Like Justin Steele.
Okay, solid.
Like Shota.
Okay.
I mean,
outside of them, who do you believe like a team would line up for?
I don't know, but I like just saying that would make me feel like, hey, maybe we're doing the right thing here in that we're realizing that this team is not that good, and you got to hit the full reset. And I don't want to go through a full rebuild again, but I also don't want to play this middle ground where it's like, hey, we're competitive to a level of like 80 games. Who cares?
Right.
That's why I said the best thing that could happen to you over the course of this holiday is to watch the Phillies pound you guys into submission. So that owner up there on the north side sees what Top Dollar can buy you.
Right.
July 2nd, we're rooting for losses.
No, I'm a Reds fan. My team loses as readily as yours.
But you're saying the best thing for the Cubs.
Because it will actually show that owner what money can actually buy.
Okay.
Not for any other
the big
reason.
picture.
Yes,
You're talking about
big picture. Yeah.
Are you mad at
Harper's not even playing.
Are you mad at
not even playing?
Right.
Are you mad at Counsell at all, Big Cat? Because like he doesn't show a pulse.
I agree. I loved Justin Steele flipping out on Saturday. I mean, that one inning was Little League stuff where they screwed up a pickle, they dropped the ball in the shallow outfield. It was just like it was crazy watching. Like that's not a big league team. I like Justin Steele getting angry, and I agree with you. I feel like there's been moments where Craig Counsell has had a perfect opportunity to get upset or show something, and he hasn't shown anything.
By the way, we're told that Schwarber's calling in here shortly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, tell him I say hello.
We will.
And I miss him.
All right.
I miss him so much.
As we all
miss
do.
his scent.
Yeah.
I do. I wish That's
Should we tell him you
How
would rub
Schwarber-
his hamstring right now? Is it his groin or his hamstring?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I'll rub it all. I'll rub
Yeah,
him
I
up
bet
and
you
down.
would.
Okay.
Yeah,
Bet you
tell
would.
him that. Tell him I'll say I'd rub everything, anything he needs.
Big Cat, you're the best. Thanks for calling in on vacation, except for the early part of the
Yes, enjoy your
conversation.
time.
All right,
off.
hey, Sylvie, I'm sorry. Okay,
No,
there
no,
you go.
you're
There's
not.
your
No,
No,
apology.
you're not. You're not
That is
sorry.
No,
awful.
I'm not. I'm not.
You're not
But it
sorry.
I know
sounded
you're
good,
not.
right?
No, it didn't. It
Sounds
sounded
good.
disingenuous. That's what it sounded like.
See you later.
See you, buddy.
Happy Fourth, guys.
Same to
There
you.
you go.